Good evening and welcome everybody to the grand finals of the Heroic Division for Season 6 Nexus Gaming Series. I'm going to be your host tonight, Arrow, and we've got quite the matchup between Celeb Gaming and Abusement Park. Celeb Gaming being the taking through the winners brackets, so they've got the advantage with the first pick and map pick. Abusement Park, though, was actually the #1 seed out of the Heroic Division, but just barely by 1 point. So the teams seem to be pretty much all set and ready to go. We're going to come back later at near the end of the cast with details about the All-Stars, so make sure you hang out for that. Ready here. And it looks like we've got one, and just checking on the second team, and it looks like they're ready as well. So get this going. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started. All right, so coming into the draft, I did a little bit of checking into these teams. Not a ton, but a little bit. And coming into it, we had an interesting matchup about a month ago where Abusement Park took the match 2-1, which ultimately is what gave them that 1 point edge in the standings. Those games were very close, it looked like, in definitely game 1, very close. Game 3 was pretty close as well. Game 2 was pretty heavily in favor of Abusement Park. But keep in mind, tonight is best of 5. So there's more opportunity for maps, more opportunity for some crazy plays, and the bans that I somewhat expect, just based off what was picked or banned 100% of those games, those 3 games, we had a Nubarak, Genji, Zeratul, Abathur, Samuro, Maiev, and Tyrande. Expect to see at least some of those bans. Obviously, we're starting off with an Ana ban here on Volskaya, and that was not one of the maps that they played last time. So last time their games were on BOE, Infernal Shrines, and then Alterac Pass. So there's a little bit different setup for them, but there's that Samuro ban coming out, and Samuro gives them that opportunity to run around, find some camps, and be an overall just macro menace to the enemy team, constantly keeping things going for his own team. It also kind of had a big spike in the Samuro Abathur combo, throwing out bodies and making it just absolutely crazy for your team to have to deal with who's the right one to kill at that point. Volskaya. All right, so Hanzo, and there's that Zeratul ban that was mentioned, and Anubarak, again, you know, not a big surprise that that's picked up first pick and snapped in by Celeb Gaming. I need to get my chat up so I can see you guys chatting. Let's get that page. All right. So again, Celeb is on the left, Abusement Park is on the right, which of course you can see that on your screen. So Garrosh and Rhaegar, I don't believe that that they played either of those in their previous matches here. Actually, I think Rhaegar was played. I think I recall seeing him on there. Yeah, I don't see. Actually, no, don't see either of these. So, so some new blood in the Nexus tonight, followed up by Maiev and Tyrande. So again, getting those 3 out of those that list all on the same team. Those are very strong heroes. Maiev with her Warden's Cage with the Phantom Knife resets, especially on a control point, is going to be very difficult to deal with. Garrosh has Unstoppable. Rhaegar has a Cleanse, so that can certainly help. Rhaegar's Ancestral can help with the Burst Denial. And they're going to go ahead and ban out Sylvanas. So Sylvanas would certainly help to provide some extra damage, would also help with the Protector. So not a big surprise there. And then Li Ming. Li Ming was one that was played, I believe, by Abusement Park in their previous encounter. So, and that was one where they pretty handily won it. I think that was game 2 that they had the Li Ming. It was not, so never mind. Game 1? Game 1. And Celeb had it, so never mind. Clearly, I don't know what I'm talking about. Imperious and Jaina. So they've got the Garrosh throw, Imperious stun, Jaina burst set up with a slowing totem. So lots of potential there. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Rainer now. Just Jaina Rainer seems to go pretty well hand in hand. You just have to be careful about knocking them out of the stuns and all that. But these are heroic level players. They're gonna be cautious about such things. And oh, they snag the Rainer themselves. They don't want to deal with that. Let's see if I can get the player pop-ups to show up real quick here before we go into that. Blaze and Rainer. Of course, they're going to change all this stuff as soon as I lock them in. So what's they gonna go? But Hammer! It's Hammer time! Man, starting off on round 1, game 1 with something a little bit cheeky. Let's see, what is it? Playing this Imperious. Okay, cool. So Hammer is gonna help them on those control points, allow them to really just hunker down and siege it up. Garrosh throws, Imperious stuns, the slows coming out from Jaina will help to allow Hammer to just do what she does, which is to sit there and just attack, just keep attacking forever. There we go. And the other setup here, you've got the Anubarak dive, the cocoon. Potentially you have to be careful with the unstoppable and the cleanse. You've got Maiev pull, Tyrande stuns. There's a lot of ways to get in. Blaze stuns if they get a good angle. There's a lot of ways to get into the Hammer. So it'll be interesting to see if they can pull off enough damage to keep her from being just a consistent pain in their neck. Pull up that chat again. Go get him, Robin, they say. Well, good deal. So, ladies and gentlemen, Celeb Gaming on the left and Abusement Park on the right. Show them some love. Give them some shout-outs in chat. Let them know you're here. Let's get that started. Okay, so see if this works. All right, so if I'm on the right thing, right now I'm looking at the blue team. For Robin Bird, we've got the Tyrande. For Anubarak, we've got CTV Slip Stat. Anyways, whoever that is. We've got Slip is going to be played by Maiev, and the other way around. Rainer's going to be... Why is this all messed up? I just did this. Evasion on the Bird, Slip on the Maiev, let's see, Met on the Rainer. I think I got everybody on blue, although I hit the wrong thing there, so let me E off that. There we go. And then Infrared on the Hammer for Abusement Park. We've got Mason Blaze on Jaina, Rossi on the Rhaegar, Tremor on the Garrosh, and AIDS on Imperious. Let me see if I can get back onto you there, Bahamut. So Anubarak gets thrown in the back there by the Garrosh, and he gets a couple of stacks out of his level 1 quest. Let's take a look at what our talents are. It's not going back onto you. We'll see. Maybe it is now. So we've got 4 versus 4 up here in the top lane. Blaze and Imperious in the bot lane as the rotations are taking place here. Yeah, it's not really working here, Bahamut. We'll try to fix it for next game. Unless there's another thing that I need to do. Yeah, that's not working either. Okay. Well, anyway, so we've got Abusement Park coming over here to get their camp early here. The Celeb Gaming now taking the opportunity to rush in and get this support camp nice and early. They'll be able to get that and then, in theory, rush down and get their turrets. So they'll have the item advantage as they come in. Blaze soaking that mid lane while his team was pushing top for the support. Raynor up here against the Hammer. And Celeb doing exactly that, going down, getting their turret camp, and replacing themselves in those lanes to make sure they're getting constant soak. Garrosh setting himself up here for a potential gank against maybe a Raynor if he's the one that goes through, but it looks like a Nubrak's the one that's going to go in there. And pinging the retreat to call back out. 4 of them in the mid lane, only 1 showing bot, 2 showing mid, so they probably have a good idea that Abusement is grabbing their camp. And they've got it just prepped there as Jaina goes back here. The control point coming up in 15 seconds. Celeb is now going to go ahead and get on theirs as well, so they'll have that ready and set to go. Level 4 is online for both teams here. Slight XP advantage going over to Celeb Gaming as now the first the first control point is coming up. Garrosh has already got his first 9 stacks out of 15 for his Warbringer. And 7 globes there for Blaze for his new habits. I think that's what that one is. For the, yeah. To be able to give him that unstoppable as well. So it looks like we're going to get at least started on the channel for Celeb here. And yes, Bahamut, I did try C, but it keeps, it just goes there. It doesn't lock on. So it is started by Celeb, but well, we've got 4, not the solo lane, on the point here, with Garrosh getting pretty low, coming out from Abusement Park. So they're trying to push them back, and it looks like they will after about a third of the percentage. Blaze has no mana at this point now in this bot lane, and Imperius just tapped, so it looked like he was looking to come up here, but Mayev's going to go ahead and grab the towers up in the top lane with the pressure from their camp. And here we go, a Nubrak diving in, but the Unstoppable goes out onto the Hammer. And Celeb does have level 7s now, so they can put in a little pressure here, especially with Jaina going up to the top to take care of that camp. If there's anything else you can think of, Bahamut, just let me know. Camera lock on hit L, okay. There we go. I think that's working now. So we've got now the turret camp, Nubrak getting tossed in, but is able to burrow out. Throws out the Impale, and the charge stun coming in from Imperius, followed by the charge from Blaze, and Imperius is in trouble and will end up going down thanks to the damage coming out from Blaze and his team. Unstoppable procced on Garrosh, but he is not going to make it out. And Celeb Gaming now, with the item advantage, is going to go ahead and take over this first protector of the game. We've got a Nubrak and Tyrande going in there, and they're going to go ahead and start off by pressuring this mid wall, get the final turret down, maybe get that wall down, and then I fully expect them to go up toward the top, which is what they're doing. And Hammer is trying to take care of these minions, just finish off what she can there to keep the mid fort as healthy as possible. And of course there was already the prep in the top lane thanks to Maiev and that push earlier, so there was only a minimal amount of that second turret. There was no wall, but Celeb is looking at the bot lane also, and we've already got the walls down now on all 3 of the forts. The Protector does manage to finish off that well in the top lane, and before the Protector goes down, they're able to get the fort down to about half health here. With just Hammer and Garrosh protecting it though, they are going to be able to take that out entirely thanks to the minion wave and a Nubrak Beetles. And with that pressure now and Abusement Park showing elsewhere on the map, they're going to go ahead and come in here on the support camp with 4 out of 5 of them doing that. And Abusement is saying, hey, you know what, we know they're over there, let's go ahead and Accept the fact we don't have our heroics yet. We're a little bit behind on XP. Let's get this camp and push what we can. Speaking of those heroics, so we do have, well, we've got a bug that just got caught, but is able to burrow out. We've got the Warden's Cage, the Starfall, Rainer's Raider, Cocoon, and the Bunker, which Bunker almost seems like an extinct talent from if you watch some of the other divisions. But for Abusement Park, we've got the Angelic Armaments, the Warlord's Challenge, the Water Elemental, the BFG coming out from Sergeant Hammer, and Ancestral for Rhaegar. So looking for that blow-up potential as Blaze gets thrown in, but Garrosh gets put in the Cocoon and Bunker drop, but he does manage to get out. And I'm sorry, it's not Angelic Armament, it's Wrath of the NGS. Bad caster for not paying attention. But we did see that he missed that, unfortunately, so that's going to be a full, what is it, 80-second cooldown, I believe. Watching from the UK, wow, welcome, Luda. Glad you could make it. As this is as close to pro as you can get between these teams, the #1 and #2 team. And in the bot lane there, they did happen to catch that Imperius and bring him down as well. And with the Anubrak Beetles, the Wave, they're going to go ahead and start pushing in the bot lane. They're ready. They're prepping for the 3rd Protector. They don't care about the 2nd Protector. They know that 3rd Protector is going to win the game for them at this point. And there it goes. The Warden's Cage is out. The Unstoppable procced on Hammer, so she doesn't get pulled back. But it looks like Garrosh is going to get taken out. Maybe only the what? Nope. It is going to be Hammer going down as well. She gets caught by the Impale, and then the Lunar Flare at the end. I'm not sure if it finished it, but certainly the damage from Blaze does. And the proc off of the wall on the tether manages to grab Imperius and pull him back in. They are out for blood. They want this first game under their belt. And not only do they have now the bot fort down, they have the bot keep going down. This is trouble. Going into the 2nd Protector now, 8.5 minutes into the game, Celeb Gaming is making a statement saying, hey, we may have lost the match when we played last time, but we are bringing it today. And this is a tough circumstance to be in if you're Abusement Park. This Protector's now in the top lane, and you've got catapults, constant catapult pressure going in your bot lane. Somebody's going to have to be paying attention to that while you have this long duration timer in the top lane. Here we've got level 13s up as well. Again, for Celeb Gaming, they are almost 2.5 levels up. And Abusement Park realizing that Celeb is over here getting this support camp, but there's not a lot they can do with their team backup. The Garrosh procs is Unstoppable just a little bit too soon and ends up getting pulled back in and stays a little too long. And now he's going to get a free trip to the graveyard. And this is going to give them some nice, easy time going on to the point here, this control point, as Maev's going to start working on their camp. And Abusement's now heading down to the bot lane, trying to at least make some value happen out of this, knowing that Celeb is up in that top lane. And Celeb says, hey, we can see you. We're going to come up and take some damage on your top keep wall. They got Raynor and Tyrande, and now that first turret's already down. The Warlord's challenge and throw in on the Tyrande, but there's a wave there. I don't know how much value he's expecting to get out of that. And it looks, yeah, they had to pop the Ancestral just to keep him alive with the Raynor Tyrande. But here it is, a 4v4. We've got the Cocoon going out onto Imperius, the Warden's Cage pulling 3 of them back in, and Hammer is out of it, pretty far away. The tether catches Imperius, and he tries to make it out, but it's just not gonna happen. So many stuns coming out. Blaze just missing the Garrosh, as Tremor's gonna be able to make it out there. And this sieging Hammer trying to do what damage she can to keep her team alive, keep this keep alive. And they're just about to get that Protector as Maev went back to finish the job there. They've got almost half the keep down on this top lane as well. And now they do finish off that that camp that they had pressuring, but now they've got a full Protector, 4-level advantage, nearly unheard of in competitive for sure. This could be the end of the game. If they get, I don't even know if they need 1 kill. There's just so much damage potential coming out of this. The protectors were buffed to give them massive siege bonuses. But we'll see. They've got Raynor out. And there goes the Wrath of NGS onto a Nubarak. So he is in the backline now. The big Warlord's Challenge going out does get Tyrande and Raynor. And they do get those kills. The Cocoon goes out on Garrosh, trying to slow things down, as Maiev does get the Jaina kill from the Protector, knocks Garrosh back with the new glove, and a 3-for-1 trade in favor of Abusement Park, bringing them back in within 2 levels now, almost to level 16, thanks to that catch-up XP. So a little bit aggressive. Now they've got 2 keeps down. They're gonna get whatever value they can. They have 10 seconds left in the Protector, and they just have to be careful not to get, you know, caught by Garrosh, thrown back into a bad circumstance. And it looks like they're going to be okay. Whew! So we've got Imperius cleaning out that bot lane, keeping things going for his team. There's not a lot of structures on the red side at this point. All of the vision is in favor of Celeb, and they've already opened up that bot lane. If they get this next Protector at around the 16-minute mark or so, that's going to be a brutal amount of damage on that core. And Abusement is looking up here at the support camp. This has been the zone of Celeb Gaming. The throw onto the Anubarak with the Impale coming out from Imperius as he gets Wrath of Angiris out on Blaze, pulls him into the backline as Cocoon goes out on a Garrosh. Pyromania popped to try to get him out of there, but it's just not enough as he gets caught by Imperius and pulled out. Slip is in trouble, so little health as the dive comes in from Anubarak, getting the Fan of Knives resets, so he does manage to trade his life with Imperius there. And Hammer, all the while, just plinking away consistently with that siege damage, and they will end up getting again a 3-for-1 trade, and for the first time in the game they'll get the support camp. And here comes 3 catapults worth of pressure on their core. They've got to go back and deal with that. Garrosh himself is not really going to be enough to do it. He's enough to distract them, to keep them from attacking the core at least, so that Hammer can come in and actually do the damage for it. But they're going to have to keep an eye on that. At least the next control point is there in that bot lane so that they can kind of hover between those 2 points. But now it's the race to 20. You've got a half a level as Abusement Park picks up their turret camp, and half a level for Celeb Gaming trying to get to 20. There's a minute left until their fortification camp is up. We've got a couple of minutes on both of the sieges because they just took them. And if you're Abusement Park, you got to find a way to get a level and a half of XP before that control point. And that control point's probably coming up within the next 45 to 60 seconds. And it looks like Celeb is eyeballing potentially this Sergeant Hammer. And it looks like somebody's catching on to that, pinging the danger sign, making sure that they don't do that. So continuing to keep this bot lane as clear as possible, not sieging up, making sure that she can get away, and pops her thrusters to make sure she can. Maev's gonna try to catch her, but just enough to keep her away as level 20s come online here. So we do see weak spot acquired, so that's going to reduce armor for Raynor when he uses that, give him some pepper. The upgraded Starfall Celestial Wrath giving the Hunter's Mark onto everybody in the area. So again, a big boost of damage here. The Shadow Orb for or Shadow Strike Orb for Maiev. Again, reducing armor. There's just all kinds of armor reduction, right? Fortified Bunker and Rewind, of course, for Anubarak. Does he even have another level 20? As they dive in, they manage to find Imperius, but he pulls Anubarak back. The Warden's Cage goes out, but it's Rhaegar that gets caught deep in the back as Jaina, throwing out the damage, manages to finish off Raynor. Mason is going to end up getting taken out there, and Maiev catches both Imperius and Garrosh in tether, gets some Phantom Knives. It's 3 for 3, 4 for 3. Only a Nubrak left alive for Celeb versus Imperius and Hammer. This is a bit of an awkward place for a Nubrak to be, but that does net Abusement Park, they're level 20s. They got exactly what they wanted. They got a fight that they were able to successfully pull off. Not entirely sure how it happened. Everybody pushed their R and people died. And Anubrak is just trying to find a way to get out of this so that he doesn't have a hugely staggered death, but there's just nowhere to go as Sergeant Hammer, MVP Hammer, cuts him off. And now that's another 30 seconds that Anubrak's going to be behind. And with that 50-second timer now, I don't know that they're going to be able to get all 5 to get this protector. But they don't necessarily need to. They have every fort up, every structure up. I don't even think they have any damage in those. No, the bottom lane they did. They took down the wall. So they do have at least that. Hammer's pulling back as most of that team is showing back up, and her team, you know, is playing a little bit defensive. They had to get the clear on the bot lane. They do stop by to pick up that fortification camp. And just a couple of things. We see the 2-man throw coming out for Garrosh, the upgraded water elemental, the Storm Shield version for Rhaegar, the upgraded Wrath of Anguirus, which gives them their reduced cooldown. But Celeb is coming up here to get this support camp, making sure that they have every possible advantage now that Anubrak's back on the table, and there's 40-ish% to go. So there's just enough time for them to get there. But instead, they're going to go for the top pressure. What's that one, by the way? Ultra capacitors. Oh, yeah, increased attack speed. That makes sense. She's been getting a lot of that. So now they've got 2 camps in the top lane. They've got a full team, and they have a bionic emitter. Is Abusement Park going to catch this? Well, Jaina certainly does. They do get the team back here in time. So the question is, can they make enough happen here? The Wrath of Anguirus going out onto Raynor, pulls him back, but Jaina finishes off on the Maiev, who went in with that Warden's Cage trying to get what she could, but she also catches the Tyrande, and Blaze pulling back out, pulls away with his charge stun. I don't remember what it's called. Jet propulsion is what it's called. And gets thrown. So once again, now we've got the protector available for Abusement Park just sitting there. It's got about a minute left by the time they get there, and only 2 defenders, Raynor and Anubrak. This was 100% Celeb's game until one missed team fight, and then it's just been the other direction. But we've got Jaina getting caught out by Anubrak and Raynor. That's problematic for Abusement Park now. They don't get as much push out of this. All of their siege damage is either in the protector or dead. And Raynor and Anubrak, I don't know if they're trying to be cheeky with this, or if they're just trying to at least pull people back. Presumably. And there goes Imperius. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much they can really do damage-wise, but they can certainly at least scare them off. And that's really all they're trying to do, is make sure that they limit the amount of siege damage that comes out of this push. But the protector just still does so much. There's 20 seconds left. You got all of Celeb coming up. I don't think, yeah, they're backing off. I don't think they could get a keep with that without risking their lives at that point. And 5 seconds left for the protector, and Celeb Gaming is sharking around, trying to see what they can get. Anubrak is cocooning the Rhaegar, going in, gets the Warden's Cage on both Garrosh and the Hammer, and Hammer is obliterated with the dive, and now 3 for nothing as they get caught out by Celeb Gaming, and they are marching to the core. They're saying, hey, this was our game. We're not losing this. We're not making one mistake and losing the game. Wrath of Anguirus out onto Anubrak, but what is he gonna do? He's gonna dive away, and there's a lot of damage going out. That percent damage from Imperius, but it's Jaina that will fall first, because of course the entirety of the team turns and says, no, 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 this is our game. Get off of this platform. The bunker drop just to give him that extra siege, that extra protection, and it looks like game number 1 going over to Celeb Gaming. GG. 。 . 。 . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Holy cow. That was quite decisive for most of the match for Celeb Gaming. And then it almost looked like Abusement Park was pulling it back out. They were saying, "Hey, yeah, we got this. We can make these fights happen. These 5v5s, when we play on our terms, we can do this." But ultimately, they got caught coming out of that protector, and the rest of the team wasn't there, and that was the end of the. That was all she wrote. So game one going over to Celeb Gaming. This is a best of 5, so there is plenty of opportunity for Abusement Park to come back and really turn this around. And if I remember correctly, let me just take a quick peek here. Remember correctly, the first game, the first game of their match originally had gone over to Celeb Gaming as well, of their regular season match. So we'll see what Abusement Park brings to the table here in game number 2. And don't go away, because we're going to come back and talk about All-Stars as well after a little bit. We'll cover some of them here after this next game.
King has fallen. A father. A friend. A warrior. Defender of the Alliance. He was a beacon of hope. A leader without measure. A man who would never accept defeat. He was our shield against the storm. Wherever he has gone, Varian Rin will remain a hero. Always.
out there. If you're gonna get through the summer, you need stamina. You need strength. You need Marcus Finley's Bust Your Ass Workout. You want a beach body for the first time in your timid little life? Well, I got the toughest fitness program in the multiverse. But you cannot argue with results. I guarantee I can turn anybody into a rock-solid hero.
Looks like you need a timeout.
Marcus Finley, Bust Your Ass, and Marcus Finley are not responsible for damage inflicted by cannonballs, ghost pirates, enemy minions, garden terrors, web weavers, dragon knights, or immortals. Please consult the sport class to determine if Bust Your Ass is right for you. All sales final. As I was saying, I can transform any... Now listen, you know none of this is legally binding, right? Well, it's about summertime.
All right, so we are back. So first game one between Celeb Gaming and Abusement Park went over to Celeb Gaming. Game number 2 is going to be on Battlefield of Eternity, and this was picked by Abusement Park. Just a quick recap, because I didn't get to do this earlier here. The bans were Sky Temple from Abusement Park and Tomb of the Spider Queen from Celeb Gaming. So again, we're going to BOE, Battlefield of Eternity here. So let me just check in with teams and get this show on the road for game number 2. Looks like we're good. Starting up. All right, so so far a pretty exciting series already. Just in game 1 looked very heavily in favor of Celeb Gaming, but Abusement Park came back with a pretty solid vengeance and then ultimately lost the team fight and lost the game. So we'll see if there are any changes here for drafts, for bans. You know, I expect much the same, you know, as far as what they pick and ban from that list, that Anubarak, Genji, Zeratul, Abathur, Samuro, Maiev, Tyrande. I expect these teams are going to be looking at that. Of course, Celeb made great use out of that Anubarak, Tyrande, Maiev combo that they got 1, 2, and 3. And with the cages and the stuns, the hammer was a big surprise there at the end. And it started to work out for them as they got later in the game. And really just that late pick, that catch onto the hammer down in that bot lane, put them in a position that they just lost at that point. Bans coming out already the same as what we saw in game 1. Ana followed by Samuro, Hanzo as well. So quite literally same thing in the same order for all 4 of the first set here. Okay, well, so I'm just gonna sit back because we're just gonna play the same heroes. So BOE is a map that is a little bit different in priority because the Immortal brings so much value to the table that you can't just really ignore it. So you're gonna see some heroes with race, like the Hanzo, which was dropped a little bit. Genji can kind of go into that, I don't remember what it's called, but the shuriken, all 3 onto 1 target thing, gets him a big burst. So we've got Johanna, Genji. So at least for Abusement Park, they're making changes, saying we wanna try something a little bit different here. And oddly enough, Genji was not picked or banned in the last game. But he was in their regular season. They both teams had a pretty high priority on him. And Li Ming and Tyrande. So again, Tyrande helping out with the damage on the Immortal. Gives that penalty to armor. And then the Li Ming, I'm interested to see the heroic version of Li Ming. See if this is a Ether Walker like Ogle likes to run, or if they, you know, go a little bit more traditional. And Illidan's gonna get banned out. I'll admit I'm a little surprised. And the Abathur. Now I believe Abathur was run on this map in their original series, so again, not a big surprise that they would look to ban that out. Their BOE Celeb actually did run that, and Abusement Park went with a Lucio, Thrall, Hanzo, Imperius. There's okay, along with the Johanna. So what are they? So Genji took the place of Hanzo in that draft, so we may yet see the Imperius coming out. So keep an eye out for that one. See if I can get my player windows to show correctly this time, since apparently I missed somebody swapping last time. Try to catch those. Last two coming out for Celeb. It's going to be Cassia Dahaka. So again, a lot of stuns, and the blind coming out available for Cassia, so some potential for Genji, you know, keeping the auto attacks. Genji does a fair amount of auto attack damage. Yeah, okay. Dahaka gives them the ability to swap in pretty quickly from top to bottom. It's, you know, it's not a huge map, but it's large enough that it takes some time there. So yeah, there they go. They're swapping people around on me. I'm not gonna be able to use this, guys. I like the pop-ups. So Met is on Cassia, Robin. Okay, make sure I've got all these right. Yeah, okay, good. All right, game number 2 starting up. Battlefield of Eternity between Celeb Gaming and Abusement Park. Let's take a quick shout out to our Patreon as we wait for the game to load. And we're back. Nice short little clip. Just reminding you that we appreciate any and all support from our viewers. I wonder if they're still going on Div A. Did anybody check that out? Anybody know what happened with Div A? Are they done or still going? All right. So I think I'm good, Bahamut. I seem to be floating around with you. So on the blue side, coming out from Celeb Gaming, we've got Slip on Li Ming, Met on Cassia, Robin Bird is going to be on Tyrande, Satat is on Anubarak, and Dahaka is going to be played by somebody else. Thank you, Evasion. For the red team, for Abusement Park, we've got AIDS on Blaze. We've got Lucio played by Rossi. Mason Blaze is going to be playing the Genji. Infrared on the Thrall, and Tremor for Johanna. And that's going to be Abusement Park. And right out of the gate, we see the teams going a little bit opposite. Top lane, Celeb is looking dangerous against this Blaze. He's staying really close. Nobody's visible, and there they go. The dive in, the stun from Tyrande. Cassia gets the fend out, and Blaze just barely able to make it out with his life. And now we see the rotation coming up from the rest of Abusement Park to see if they can't capitalize on the forward pressure here that Celeb has already put out. And Blaze will charge in, misses the Li Ming. And we do have a full 4v4. The Lunar Flare happens to catch both Blaze and Lucio in the background there. But now Genji gets dived on from the Anubarak. Condemn coming out, hits 3 of Celeb. But Tremor getting chunked down by the Fend. Whole lot of nothing from these teams on that. But we did see Dahaka coming up trying to help out. So this may give us slight XP advantage over to Abusement Park. But even with the long walk down, he's going to be able to get there before that that next wave gets there. So not too much of a difference. Very slight over to Abusement Park. Johanna popping her Iron Skin, keeping things from going crazy there with the damage coming out from Li Ming. Oh, and I just clicked on the healing fountain. Let's see if I can undo that real quick here. 1, 1. E, there we go. Go back to you. All right, I think we're okay. There we go. All right, so just a quick look at our level 1 talents just to see what we got. We got the Aqua of Elements quest. We do not have the Ether Walker out of Li Ming. Genji diving in on that Li Ming just gets a little bit of poke damage there, as they will start working on the Khazra camp there in the top lane. To be noted, Thrall's already sitting at 13 stacks on that. Oh, the big charge coming out from Blaze after the condemn from Tremor, and now we've got 4 people on Abusement Park that have half health somehow. But Lucio is able to keep him going. Once again, Dahaka coming up, trying to catch something, but Abusement sniffing that out, listening to that burrow sound coming out of Dahaka, the Brush Stalker, and pulling back. So Thrall does get a little bit of XP value as now both teams get onto their Bruiser, their Shaman camp. And the Tyrande Owl will scout out, although they probably had a pretty good idea. Team's missing. And Johanna's going to go ahead and tap if she's got it, I think. Maybe she's got to wait for that. Both Shaman camp taken. Abusement Park just slightly behind, as about a 20% of the Immortal gone before they even get onto the map over here. And we've got now 4 Blaze so deep into the enemy team. All 5 members of both teams here. Celeb's Shaman camp is a little bit farther ahead, and they've got the full pressure on the Immortal. They're already at halftime here. So the charge stun by Blaze coming in, getting Anubrak stuck in that fire for a few moments. And it looks like Celeb Gaming is going to go ahead and pull back. They're going to clear up the... or I'm sorry, they're going to add pressure to that bot lane with the Shaman. It will ultimately going down with Thrall showing up, but they did get some decent value out of that. And Abusement's just setting up for defense. They've got a pretty solid front wall here with Johanna Blaze. And now Thrall's coming in to join the party now that that's cleared. Dahaka's in the top lane, clearing up the Shaman camp up there and getting that XP. Level 6 to level 5, so no 7s yet. Condemn goes out, manages to get 2, and Tyrande goes down, almost of Nubrak as well, but Dahaka's trying to come through. He manages to get the tongue in on Blaze. Blaze gets impaled thanks to Anubrak and the reset sound coming out for Li Ming, trying to get another bomb out maybe onto that Johanna to finish the job, but they're just going to be content with finishing off the Immortal and getting the first Immortal of the game. So level 7's coming out here soon for Celeb Gaming, as they're going to grab these globes, try to get as much value as they can out of those. And now we do see the level 7 Surge of Light. So after taking that damage from Avoidance, she's going to proc that AoE damage around here, similar to the Dragon Claw for Genji. So we'll see if we get a little AoE burst damage duel between the two of them. So we've got Blaze and Dahaka in the top lane. Keep in mind that Dahaka is always with you. So what if they get a good point in this, and there it is, Dahaka's coming in on the back line already. Anubrak burrow charging in. The Condemn pulls the entirety of that team together and probably saves, I don't remember who was there. Somebody was right there. They got caught by that burrow charge, but that first fort goes down, and this is a healthy Immortal. No shielding, but it'll at least get some damage here on this front wall, as now Dahaka's taking the walk back up top lane to make sure Blaze doesn't get too significant value on that fort. And here comes Genji diving in on the Tyrande, getting some damage. Johanna going in, all 4 surrounded by 4 members of Celeb, but the damage is just insane against them. Every time we look at them, they're at half health. And Lucio's doing his darndest to keep things caught up there. So for level 7s, obviously we see the Calamity. We see, is that the spell? No, the Stun, Silence, and Roots for Tyrande. Yep, the Cleanse. And the Subdue talent coming out for Johanna, giving her that potentially 80% slow anytime she hits at least 2 people. And Dahaka up here in the top lane, probably okay. Yeah, is going to be able to get out, and they're going to go ahead and get the Siege Camp. They're down a full level, so they need to do whatever they can before level 10, but Celeb Gaming saying, hey, we see you up there, we're going to go ahead and grab as much damage as we can in this bot lane, finishes the wall, finishes the tower, gets that keep to half. And that sets them up real nice if they get a good solid team fight. And they're not done, they still have a Khazra camp here. And look at that, once again, Johanna, half health instantly. Just shows her face and suddenly at half health. Catapults, they've got all the pressure in the world here. And now level 10s, this is a keep. They were just waiting for those level 10s. They've got the cocoon, they've got the wave of force, the isolation, the starfall, and the lightning ball. Is that called lightning ball? Ball lightning. Yeah, I was close. 3/4 of a level to go for Abusement Park. They're playing a little bit behind here in this game as well. Half of their forts are down, and fortunately the half happened to be in that same lane. Once again, a difficult place to be in going into your second game on BOE with the second, I'm sorry, not Protector, the second Immortal coming out, and Anubarak calling for his team saying, hey, we can take this before they're level 10. They're chunked down already from the Shaman. Let's just go ahead and steal this camp. We have all of our ults. They've got nothing. And they pull off that Immortal, come over and get it. Don't let him have that XP, and now they've got to deal with the Shaman. And it looks like Dahaka, yeah, he's running up there getting that pressure in that top lane and just letting Genji know that he's not getting anything for free in this game. Abusement Park now has their ults. The Bunker, Dragon Blade, Sound Barrier, Earthquake, and Blessed Shield. So look for that engage, the slows, and big Dragon Blade damage. Hopefully he can manage to avoid the cocoons when those come out. Dahaka grabs onto Blaze, but he's kind of by himself in there with a whole bunch of Abusement Park around him. But Abusement Park says, hey, we'll come up behind you. The Blaze charge in onto Cassia as Cocoon goes out onto Lucio. The Dragon Blade's popping and just shredding the team as Li Ming goes down, followed by Cassia, Tyrande, and finally Anubarak gets the Genji. But he's going to pay for it with his life. And Blaze is trying to stay alive with the fire underneath him. Does manage to make it as Dahaka now is the target of the rest of the team. But they've got a Shaman camp? Yeah, Shaman camp and a full wave going out. So Blaze is going to go ahead and Hearth and take care of that problem right away. Big, big win if you're Abusement Park. Coming back into this game, getting a full team wipe, I think it was. I think that was all 5 of them. And getting the Immortal down to half, clearing up that bot lane. And now we'll see what Celeb does. Are they going to pressure? No, they're going to push him off. They're going to defend. They've got Dahaka coming in. They know that Blaze isn't there. And Lucio, holy cow, Lucio is so deep into the enemy team, manages to just barely evade some of those stuns, but takes a lot of damage. And Celeb says, hey, we know we can get in on this Immortal now and finish it. The Blessed Shield goes out. Tyrande gets pulled in. The Cocoon goes out onto Genji. Ball Lightning bouncing all over the place. But look at that. Oh, Li Ming teleports over the wall, but gets caught by the shot from Blaze. And Genji finishes off the Tyrande, tries to get in on Cassia. Met's going to go down as well. Abusement Park is coming back. They are ready to play. 3-0. And in the bot lane, we have a couple of catapults mounting pressure. The Immortal very close, though, and it will end up being that Anubarak dies, but he helps to secure the Immortal for his team, so at least they don't get the pressure of the Immortal, and that's going to go in the top lane once again, so the bottom lane is going to have that pressure continue to mount, as both Lucio and Johanna will now pop their healing well. So that'll be 2 minutes before they can do that again here. and Johanna gets tongued. Manages to pop Iron Skin to keep from the Lunar Flare, but just not enough as the damage comes out. Ball Lightning is going to go out onto the Genji, who thought he could get something, and Thrall... Yeah, there's nothing to be said for that. Lunar Flare onto the Wave of Force into the Lunar Flare, keeping Lucio in there, and manages to finish the job. Oh, this is a heartbreaker for Abusement Park. You just had two fantastic team fights, and then you get one unfortunate tongue and slowly trickle your deaths. It's looking like this is going to be their second keep going down. Probably not game, because everybody will be up now, so I imagine Celeb's going to pull back, but they have to be careful, because if they get caught here and lose a couple of people, that would be game. That is just over, and then you're done. So Johanna's saying, hey, let's check out for this camp. Make sure that you can't come take this. Not again. Not my camp. But they are going to get that top camp. That Shaman camp going, or the Khazra camp rather. And Abusement looking to maybe come down here. Either they're gonna clean this lane. It looked, yeah, okay, they're cleaning the lane up. I thought they might try to go look at that fight, because 16 is not too far away, and that's gonna be a pretty hefty advantage for Celeb. And we've already got 5 members here of Celeb, so choosing to wait on it. I guess they want to kind of bait this out, pull them in, try to get them to do this, as Blaze comes walking in, doesn't check the bush, gets impaled by Anubarak, pops bunker, the cocoon goes out onto Lucio, Dragon Blade in the back line there, cleaving away, but he's already at 20%, pops the deflect, trying to stay alive as Thrall finishes off the Li Ming. Slip is in trouble now, getting pulled back into the fire, pops the teleport to get some damage out, and the resets are just going nuts. Li Ming was a moment away from death, pops the Calamity, gets the reset, gets another reset, and now there goes Johanna, 20 seconds. Whew. And they've got a little pressure in the top lane. They're not going to go win the game right now. The death timers are too short. They got level 16s. Let's take a look at those talents here while we're in a kind of a quiet space. And there's pressure in the bot lane thanks to that camp that they got and baited them into. So we've got Cassie on the Immortal. The rest of the team is kind of doing their own thing. We've got Anubarak getting some cleanup duty on the top lane. We've got Li Ming and Toronto getting the Shaman camp. And now all 5 of Abusement Park coming back up. They're down 16s, but they got to make a play at this point, because that Immortal with the team is gonna end the game for them if it's a fully shielded Immortal. And here comes Blaze by himself, trying to keep things as slow as he can in the defense with the Immortal. Johanna's Condemn pulls back the Anubarak, but Lunar Flare does prevent her from going any further, and he will burrow out. So they have all the time in the world. Celeb Gaming has to do absolutely nothing. It is entirely on Abusement Park to make this happen. Oh my goodness, Game Grinder throwing out the shade in chat. And the series save. Yeah, fair enough. Blaze charging in onto the Tyrande. Let's get rid of these talents as Dragon Blade is popped, trying to finish off Met, bring her down as quickly as they can, but it is going to be Genji going down once again as the Li Ming just popping off. Full mana to none with all of these resets. And there's just nothing to be said. There's the 4th kill. 4 for nothing. And Burrow charge in, trying to catch up to the Thrall, just to make it a full team wipe. They've got a full shielded Immortal. They've got a Shaman camp already on the core. They've got catapults coming from the top lane, and Blaze has no health. All he can do is delay the inevitable at this point, I think. We'll see. They're all coming back up. They've got level 16s. This is their last stand. But remember, this is best of 5 as Robin Bird, very low, gets caught out and destroyed thanks to that stun. The Immortal's still very far away. There's a lot of potential here for Abusement Park to at least get some kills, maybe get something, but catapults again already shredding the core down to 55%. There's no shielding now for the Immortal. just a few shots from it and it's gonna go down. Anubrak gets taken out. Genji trying to deflect his way to victory as the Immortal brings it down to 30%, 21%, and they're just dropping like flies everywhere. Evasion's trying to survive here, and he does make it as the Immortal finishes off the core. Game number 2 going over to Celeb Gaming. In, again, what started off pretty decisively for them and turned into a kind of a bloodbath on both sides, but ended up being, once again, the victory for Celeb Gaming. All right, so I promised you guys that I would tell you some of the All-Stars. So let's take a look at that real quick here while we wait on our teams to give us our next match. See if I can remember where I put those. All right. Welcome back to me. Why am I blurry? Ah, there we go. So, for the All-Stars. So the All-Stars are broken down for DPS, support, solo, and tanks. We don't have subs on the list, although there will be, you know, potential for subs. So I believe I set this up so that I'll be showing you for now the first 4 All-Stars, and these are going to be the DPS players. So for the DPS players, we've got Roger from Modo, Mason Blaze in the game tonight from Abusement Park, Tremor also from Abusement Park, and Met from Celeb Gaming. So 3 out of 4 coming at you tonight from these teams. And I wrote down who the All-Star teams. Since Heroic Division doesn't have an East and West, they kind of hybridized the teams a little bit. So it's like the first tank and the second support and the first solo or something like that. So at the end of the night, I will go over what those teams look like when I find my list. So there are your first 4 All-Stars, the DPS All-Stars for Heroic Division. And it looks like we're already getting ready for the game. So give me a moment. We'll be back in just a moment with game number 3 between Celeb Gaming and Abusement Park.
There is much for us to settle.
When I was young, I lived a life of recklessness. In my selfishness, I inflicted pain and hurt those I cared for. I have learned many lessons in my struggles with doubt and fear. Balance and harmony are not easily attained. They must be fought for! But on my journey, I have learned another lesson. You do not have to fight alone.
Let's do this! Woohoo!
All right, welcome back, everybody. So again, we just saw the All-Stars here just a few moments ago for the DPS. We'll be coming back to show you the rest of the All-Stars, the tank, support, and solo lane All-Stars here shortly. Oh, I forgot. I was supposed to channel my inner Murda tonight. Guys, I got it. I got it. There we go. So we'll be coming back to that here. Quick look at the maps while it's already gotten started here. The next map pick that we're going to is Infernal Shrines. And that was picked by Celeb Gaming. So Abusement Park saying, yeah, you know what, we want the first pick this time. So we are all set up and ready to go in the draft. So let's hop over and see what we get out of this one. I fully expect perhaps a little bit different priority coming out of those bans. Maybe we see an Anubarak ban. Kind of instrumental these last couple of games, really locking them down. Maybe we see a Tyrande ban? Maybe see a combination? But they say, no, we really don't want to deal with that Samuro. And there are a lot of camps on this map too, so Samuro would be all over the place. Ana coming out, so sticking with our same bans. I don't even know why I'm writing this stuff down. I should just refer to game one. So if history repeats itself, Zeratul. We going with it? Survey says, oh, Hanzo. That's the other team. Now I'm oh, okay. They just switched it up on me. So now you've got first pick for Abusement Park. You've got the Anubarak available. You've got the Maiev available. The Tyrande available. What do you go for in your first pick? What were you focusing on? And apparently it was the Anubarak. They feel that Anubarak, it gives them kind of a soft ban, allows them to take it and hopefully help them to make some plays in on Infernal Shrines here. So again, Infernal Shrines has a little different play. The Punishers got upgraded, so expect to see some wave clear, some AoE kind of clearing ability heroes, and Diablo makes his first appearance of the night. So I didn't see anybody talking about Div A. Did anybody watch that? Anybody know who pulled that off? I'm assuming they're done. Gaming Series 2. Jaina Maev. So there's the oh, they're still going 2-2. Holy cow. Well, we'll have to see how things go over there later. So Jaina Maev coming out for Abusement Park. So we get that wave clear that I mentioned. We get the stuns followed up by the potentially Warden's Cage or the tethers. And Dahaka gonna be the third ban for Celeb. Okay, let's see who we have playing who. Jaina for Infrared, and Mason's going in on that Maev. So this could be the opportunity. So we did just announce a couple of these players as MVPs, or not MVPs, All-Stars rather. So looking to see that Mason on the Maev. I want to see some MVP level play tonight as they ban out the Sylvanas. And just like earlier, I mean, Sylvanas can provide that push value for the Punisher, locking down the forts, and really just giving them extra pressure, a win harder kind of hero. Oh, and by the way, she also does a crap ton of damage. So, not a big surprise to get rid of her as the next two picks going over to Celeb. And they take Falstad Junkrat. Falstad Junkrat. Okay. So you got Roots with the stuns, you've got the Diablo charges, got a Rip Tire, presumably, because nobody takes the Rocket Ride. Followed up, we've got Leoric and Alex Straza for Abusement Park. So Alex gets pretty... This is, I think, one of her better maps. Allows her team to push back on a shrine, basically lock it down for 10-15 seconds or so. The second half of the shrine clear. So what do we get out of Slip? Probably not a Li Ming. Illidan. Oh, okay. Well, at least we know why they banned it last round, because apparently somebody wants to play Illidan. So we've got Illidan with the Illidan Hunter coming at you in this game. The cooldown wave clear, you got Leoric Q's. Really kind of, I think it might go over to Abusement Park as far as for the points. Illidan gets that value that I was talking about, easily can take camps, and man, I don't know. Celeb has had a really strong showing these last couple of games, but Abusement Park has had some really fantastic team fights as well. They just didn't finish the game. They couldn't get the momentum going where they needed it to finish the game. So I want to be able to say that I do like what I see coming out of Abusement Park. I hope they can that they can make this happen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, game number 3 on Infernal Shrines coming at you between Celeb Gaming and Abusement Park. Coming at you from the blue team, we've got, for Celeb Gaming, we've got Slip on the Illidan, Evasion on Falstad, Robinbird on Tyrande, Satat on Diablo, and Junkrat's going to be played by Met. That's going to be Celeb Gaming for you tonight. Abusement Park, we've got Rossi on Alex Straza, Mason Blaze on the Maev, AIDS on Leoric, Infrared on Jaina, and Tremor coming at you on that giant bug, a Nubrak. So no cheeky, sneaky plays like we had in the last game. Just going straight into it. And Junkrat going into the bot lane. There's a weird icon down there. That's strange. I wonder what that is. So No crazy talents, I don't think. Everything looks pretty standard. We got the Q build coming out for Alexstrasza. Yeah, pretty well normal. And Nubarak being aggressive with his placement to disrupt the rotation coming out from Celeb Gaming there. But it looks like they're not rotating. They've got Junkrat in the bot lane to soak up that XP, and Slip on Illidan is a little bit aggressive in his positioning there, trying to sneak down, but decides, you know, I'm at a half health. There's not a lot I can do with this. Up in the top lane, Falstad v Leoric, as we do have an invade in the Khazar camp there, and the blizzard damage going out. Stat manages to flip infrared on the Jaina and gets that first blood with the finish coming out from Junkrat. Junkrat trying to get that damage in on Maiev, and Illidan will dive in and finish off the Hunter. So that invasion was a little bit aggressive on their part. Good attempt, but just couldn't quite make it happen. And instead, it will be Celeb Gaming taking Abusement Park's camp this time. And with that advantage now, they've got two Shaman camp pushing Khazar camp, siege camps in the mid lane, so they'll come down here and grab the bottom camp as well. So a little bit of a boost in the XP arena for them, thanks to all three of these camps. Junkrat pops himself away just to keep himself out of harm. Diablo's sitting almost at half, so he's, you know, almost effective as a tank at this point here. And we do see level 4s picked up now for both teams. Jaina going full into that Frostbolt build. Wants the range and is that cooldown reduction at 4 or is that 7? No, the piercing, right, of course. So in the top lane, we've got Falstad versus Leoric, and Falstad winning that matchup heavily and forcing Leoric to go back to his home base, as both teams now come over, pop off their Shaman camp, and looking to get onto this point. And if you're Celeb Gaming, you don't quite have as much of the wave clear, so I expect they're going to try to get some team fight value out of this, which they do get the flip onto a Nubarak. He's stunned for just an eternity and manages to chunk him down, but he does burrow out. Maiev catches Illidan in the top there, but he just dives away. There's plenty of minions for him to play around here. And so they will manage to pull in, get some value on this point now. 16 to 10, so just slightly ahead here to Celeb Gaming, but we do still have Dragon Queen, as Jaina has to go back for that mana because she doesn't have a mana talent at level 1. And here comes the Dragon Queen, the W healing coming out, and gets the pop over on Leoric over the wall. He Wraith walks out, and Illidan on Slip coming in onto the Alexstrasza, trying to dive in and manages to finish the kill thanks to the Junkrat. Diablo dives in as well, gets the Leoric caught, and Mason Blaze does get a tether in there, but there's just nobody to follow up on it, as level 7's coming online here for Celeb Gaming. They're starting this early game with the same statement they've made in the last 2 games, bringing it hard on the objective, bringing it hard on the team fights, and just saying, this is our game. And Abusement Park, at some point they're going to come back and say, hey, that's cool, we got this, we can fight this. And they just got to keep that going if they want to keep this going. There's a best of 5, so this is their season on the line. This is the end of the finals. No pressure, guys. And the Punisher pulled back here pretty far. Now keep in mind again, as you see there, the Frost Punishers lock down structures. So I believe for the first time in this series, they did not lose a fort on the first objective. So that's a good place to start, but they are losing their walls. So the bottom wall's gone, the mid wall's gone. I don't recall how much damage is up in top, but it'll show up soon enough. And now, originally they were looking to take their own camp, but Falstad going Bribe just manages to take half of it himself, and the rest of them are going to go bot lane, as Abusement Park's going to come in and get theirs. So Illidan will be able to finish this off pretty quickly. Diablo protecting him from the potential gank from the side there. And we do see the Anub'arak dive in there onto Illidan, but he pops evasion. No real damage coming out there. Gets caught by the tether though. So just a little bit of damage going out there. Mid lane, we do have the Abusement Park camp fighting the Celeb Gaming camp. And now it's a 4v1 as Leoric has to Wraith walk out, as now the level 10's available for Celeb Gaming. So we see the Rip Tire for Junkrat, and by the way, with this 10 now, they're going to go ahead and push down that fort that they didn't get earlier. Two full levels ahead for Celeb Gaming as well, so they've got these heroics available for a long time. So Rip Tire for Junkrat, the Gust of Wind for Falstad. For Illidan, we've got the Hunt, Diablo with the Lightning Breath, and the I think I've been calling it Starfall. It's not Starfall at level 1, is it? Or level 10? It is Starfall. Okay. Questioning myself. So Illidan coming down, getting the healing well here. He's also gonna probably get some damage onto this fort now as well. And he's just by himself because he has Hunt. He can essentially global in. Maiev tether in on the Diablo pulls him just slightly away from where the fort could actually do some damage to him, so he's going to be able to make it out. But Leoric's going to come down and push back against Illidan. He already has that fort to half health just by the minions that he had with him and his own damage. Looks like somebody was pinging that they're on their way, but it looks like Maiev sees that Falstad's in the middle, so I guess she's not going down to hunt down Illidan. In the bot lane, we have the second Punisher. It's going to be an Arcane Punisher, and Falstad and Illidan are going to go ahead and just finish this off. So this Arcane Punisher is going to be going straight to that keep. But we do have level 10s for Abusement Park. And Abusement's heading down to... I think they were maybe thinking they might be able to catch Illidan. They're not going to be able to, so they're going to just get started on this, the shrine, as quickly as they can. And Celeb says, okay, that's fine. We're going to steal your shaman camp. They've got their shaman camp. That's yet another fort that they're going to take. So they're trading that top fort for the shrine on this Arcane Punisher. So we'll see how much value we get out of this. And Illidan's now pushing down that mid lane as well, setting up for yet another potential wall here soon. And Abusement Park, now that they've got the Immortal, or the Punisher, are gonna go ahead and head back as that top wall is taking damage. The bottom turret of the two is already down. So just to highlight those heroics as we're about to get into a fight sometime here soon, we do see the containment disc for Maiev, which was, I guess, thrown out and missed perhaps. Cocoon for Anub'arak, the Water Elemental, Cleansing Flame, and March of the Black King. I'm a little bit surprised by that instead of the Entomb. So they will launch the Punisher over the wall there, and it basically got no real value. It got about half of that fort, but in the top lane, they got the turret and the wall down on the keep, even about half of the wall damage in the mid lane. Oh, the Hunt goes out deep into the Abusement Park there. Illidan does not care. Alexstrasza pops up and pops Dragon Form, pops Cleansing Flame, trying to keep Maiev alive, but the flames coming out of Diablo's Lightning Breath bring Maiev to the ground. Slip on Illidan pulls back, very low health here. The Gust going in the wrong direction, but I guess probably just a misplay there. Damage go down onto Anub'arak, dive in from Illidan saying, you are mine, and now he's chasing down the Jaina with Falstad right behind him, and Jaina's going down. Leoric is probably going to make it out. Looks like he does make it out. And Illidan just being a monster. Leoric's going to go ahead and get that Hearth off and just try to get back here to get some defense to keep these walls from going down. Very minimal minion coverage here, but Illidan can evade all those tower attacks too, so he ain't afraid of no ghost. Now, we do have containment discs. There it goes onto the Tyrande, so they're trying to get this engaged. Cocoon out onto the Diablo, And Illidan diving in on Alexstrasza. She's already at a third of her health. And in the back, Robinberg goes down thanks to that burrow charge coming out from Anub'arak. And Illidan in the back with the water elemental also ends up going down. It was so close, but he was by himself. He was on an island. That was a little aggressive out of the Illidan, but he can afford to make that play. They've got all of their forts down. They've got all the walls down except for the mid wall. It seems dangerous, but they can afford to be aggressive. And then here they go, Diablo behind the back, but burrow charge in. They take down that wall, and Diablo's chunked down. Is he gonna make it? No, he's not. And there go his souls, so he's gonna come back in just a moment. Alrighty there, and Falstad manages to finish off that mid wall that we've talked about a couple times. And with Junkrat, they're going to try to get some keep damage. Abusement Park in the bot lane is trying to make some kind of value trade out of this, with the Beetles pushing in on this wall, getting at least the keep wall. That's what they want. But you've got all 5 now of Celeb Gaming pushing in on this keep. They're definitely getting this keep. They have level 16, and they are starting to push in on core. Falstad doesn't have a lot of mana, but they've got Illidan, or at least they do now. And so now with the Hearth back, they are going to push them off, so they don't make any progress over the shield, although there are still Khazra. They are getting permanent damage on their core. They're in, oh my goodness, they're deciding to chase down the enemies and not clear the camp, which is doing damage to their core. They do get the cocoon into Diablo. Oh my goodness. The hunt coming in onto Jaina in the back. Cleansing Flame goes out to try to keep her alive. Mason Blaze popping out with the whatever that's called, shadow thing. And Leoric solo gets Lunar Flared in the back, but the Q coming out. But that Shaman, or that Khazra, is still going. 64%. The catapult is just chunking away, but it's going to take them a little while to get there. They are starting to regenerate their shield, though. And we've got a essentially 4 versus 3 here now. They're not done with this fight. But it's 16 or 17 to 15. They've got a disadvantage on talents. They're looking now. They want to get this keep down. And the Punisher's already going over to Celeb Gaming in the top lane. So they've got to get this keep. I don't imagine they'll actually go for core, but they may try to threaten it just to get them to back. And as you can see, they're kind of deciding whether or not they want those full backs, and it looks like they are going to go. So they do get the keep, maybe, question mark, as they dive in on the Falstad, but the tether pulls them back with the gust. There's the Illidan hunt in, as now the Riptire comes in right in the middle, and Mason Blaze misses with his Vault of the Wardens. Just trying to get out of this is the rest of Abusement Park. 4 versus 4 here. 4 versus 5. Something. And Junkrat just jumping his way with those mines. Finishes off Maev. Alexstrasza goes down in the middle of the team. And Anub'arak with no mana. And Leoric in the top lane just trying to keep that top keep alive. But Anub'arak is going to go down, question mark? There it is. And now you've got Illidan's on the core. There's still a small amount of health on the Punisher, which Leoric probably can finish, but nope. He's going to die. And it looks like that's going to be GG going over to Celeb Gaming in a 3-0. A very decisive 3-0 coming out from Celeb Gaming over Abusement Park. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and hop up into a lobby here in a second for them. So very decisive, 12-3 there in the kills. And that was 100% them. Let me just show you the talents there. And let's see. Give me just a moment, everybody, as I'm gonna. Oh, they're waiting for me. Met.
Hey, what's up,
buddy? What the heck? That was monstrous.
Thank you.
How are you? You just won. You guys won the grand finals for Heroic. Hold on, let me drop those all-stars. There we go.
Drop the all-stars.
Drop the yeah, they're gone. I had to remove them from the screen there because I was showing all stars earlier for some of them. We're gonna come back to the rest of the all stars in a minute, but right now let's focus on Celeb Gaming, the all stars, the all-star team out of Heroic. How's your team feeling? Like, what was the energy like at the end of that game?
It was pretty good. I mean, it was pretty. Everyone was happy. Everyone was excited. You know, Robin. In her words, she feels cool now. Shout out to Robin for coming in and playing. And yeah, it was really fun. It was a good series. We were able to try different things, and you know, it was overall really fun. We played at Abusement Park so many times throughout so many different leagues, and we know each other so well. And you know, it's a good series.
For sure. And you know, your guys' first series, I was checking out the stats, I was looking back at your history, trying to prepare, and a lot of the picks and bans that you guys had from that series honestly didn't even really make it into this. Like, we only saw one Genji. Obviously Zeratul never got played because why would he? It's in Heroic level, right? So, you know, going into this, what was your preparation like? What kind of things did you guys do knowing that this was a team that was right behind? Actually, you guys were right behind them in the standings because they beat you in that regular season. So how did you prepare knowing that they beat you in the regular season and were 1 point up above you? So
we actually weren't too worried. We used some, for our bans and kind of picks orders, we used a lot of the information that we had in the last time we played them, which is, I think, the time they beat us. But we weren't overall too worried. The last time they beat us, to be honest with you, I don't know, it was really weird energy-wise for the team. We kind of had like an off series, and you know, we have a different roster now. I think it's much better for the team overall. You know, and I think we just came off stronger this series, and it just worked really well. We're trying new things as a team and applying different strategies. So I think this kind of came out, especially in that last Infernal game. But yeah, I think it was really well what we did to beat them. We kind of know their playstyle, generally what they like doing, and we were able to form our strategies and a lot of our comps around that.
Sure. So let's talk about, I think you mentioned earlier about Robin. So is Robin a newer addition to the team? I noticed chat was actually saying, you know, Robin carrying, and there was some shout outs in chat for Robin there. So tell me about that.
So Robin's actually our manager.
Okay.
So we had a situation with our roster last minute, and we actually was gonna be like forced to forfeit this grand finals, but Robin was actually on our roster still because she's the manager. She has to be on it to actually, you know, look at the other captains and such and report games.
Sure. Yeah.
So our last resort was like, oh, what do we do? And then we're like, oh, Robin's on the roster. So we asked Robin. Robin thankfully said yes, and I'm very happy for that. And yeah, we were able to play with Robin. But for the roster changes though, Hunter CJ is now off the team, and we have Satat on tank. And our support is still mystery support. We're still running a few select tryouts for that, but we're our eyes on a couple.
Gotcha. So the question mark support is making the plays here. So you guys played fantastically. So I gotta ask you here. So each of these games started out with just a huge statement, right? Every single map, you guys started off on each objective getting a fort, except for the last one, which you rectified later by getting the second fort before they got to the second objective. But then as the games got later, and again, this is excluding game 3, but as the games went on, they got their heroics, and game 1 you guys had 4 level advantage at one point, 17 to 13, and then they came back and like stomped your face.
Yeah.
So, and that happened in game 2 too, right? You had a couple of fights where, like over the Immortal, they just pushed really hard back. So when this happened, first of all, was that somewhat expected? Do you expect them to kind of at some point in the game say, you know what, we've had enough, and push back? And how did you react to that? How did your team respond to that?
Yeah, so that actually happened, I think, most of the games. It's not all of them, like did on about that. To be honest, I was expecting that most of those games, especially that Volskaya game. It's really the heroes they had. A lot of the heroes get strong later on. Like generally how Abusement Park plays, They like getting like a lot of blow up heroes. They like the heroes scale really well into late game. And let's say they have a weak early game for whatever reason, they come strong in their late game, or they use their new heroes to snowball their lead, their strong heroes to snowball their lead in the late game. So it was kind of expected, and a lot of how the game is played now is you can have a big level lead early, but that's going to close very quickly in your late game. So we were expecting it at some point it's going to happen, but the thing is we gained so much of a lead from each early game that, you know, that Sky game is like a perfect example. They like wiped us. They had the objective. They had everything going for them, but we still controlled the game and ended up winning because, for example, like, you know, our thing is we always had control of the game. So they wiped us. We had like 2 people up, it was me and a noob, and they got the objective. The thing is, right, we looked for the Jaina pick, then we went to pressure core, we forced them back. So we always were in the position that we were capitalizing on. We were in the driver's seat. And I think that's why we ended up winning every single series. No matter how hard they came back in the end, we were dictating where they want to go. If they want to push bot, then they have to back deal with our push. So it was a constantly of that, you know, that pull and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys played a great game of mind games in certain points there too, holding that bottom camp in I think it was BOE, where Blaze face checked the bush, and Anubrak Satat, right? Satat?
Yes, Satat.
Said, hey, by the way, here's a free Blaze. And then I think that's actually ultimately what won you guys the game. I think that was the fight that took you to the game. There was a point where you had like pulled them back to their core when, and I think that was in Volskaya. Yeah, Volskaya, when they were pushing onto the keep, and again you pulled some of them back, but not enough, right? That was the Rainer and Anubarak. Pulled them back to their keep, left their protector basically exposed, and then you caught him and killed them there, and then won the game, right? And even in that third game there, you know, there was a point where Illidan was perhaps a little bit deep there on that, and diving in, almost killing Alex Straza before she knew he was even there, diving in on the towers. And then, you know, you guys lose 2 people, right? And out of the 3 kills that they got in that game, and I remember saying on the stream, man, he's really deep, he's really aggressive. Oh, by the way, that's because he can be, because there's literally nothing else that's happening on this map, right? Yeah. Because you had all your forts. So you guys played an A+ game. You really brought it. Just a quick update for everybody, because I happen to have the other stream up. The Div A finals just finished after you guys, by the way. They started an hour earlier. 5 games, and Dread Pirates pulled it out 3-2. But back to you guys. So you're looking for a support player now. Yeah. What else are you guys doing right now?
We're practicing, we're scrimming, we're trying new things. We have the Heroes Height Premier League this Tuesday and Wednesday. We have our Div S that we're going to be continuing in. We're in Div 1. We're all over the place. We just want to keep practicing, keep getting the games in, keeping that hero spirit alive, and enjoy the game overall.
For sure. Well, fantastic play from all of you guys tonight. It was an absolute pleasure to watch. You know, my team's in Div C, so, you know, at times it's fun to see how the best of the best in NGS play. So I appreciate that, and we had a pretty good following of people here watching you as well. I hope you guys will enjoy the replay. You know, I'm gonna let you enjoy the rest of your evening with your team. Maybe go watch Game of Thrones on the
yeah. Okay, time out here. In the middle of drafts, I was like, come on, an extra minute, please. I was watching Game of Thrones. I was watching that depth timer. Slip said that he was ending game 1 just to watch it more. I don't know what's happening, but I'm ready for this.
Good deal. Well, hey, listen, the floor is yours for any shout-outs. Anything you'd like to say to you, your fans, your teammates, the opponent.
Yeah.
Somebody's mom, whatever you got.
I got a list, and this is the last shout out I'll be giving for the NGS season. So first of all, biggest shout out to NGS. Thank you guys so much for everything you do. This was, in my opinion, the best season of NGS so far. The production was on point. You had like these game shows, the YouTube content, Twitch content, everything was laid out. I thought it was done really well. it was overall a great thing. Cast was amazing. Like the attention, like bravo, you guys are controlling like the NA scene for Div S, which is on top of all of this. Like that's amazing. So thank you, NGS, so much. Everyone, like I know the board, like keep up with the work. You're all doing great jobs. I see the whole volunteer list coming out. All I can say is, if you haven't and you're thinking about it, you know, work with NGS. They're an amazing organization and they're a great league. So thank you, NGS. And following that, thank you so much for the cast. We really appreciate it. We're like, as you said, we're going to go back, watch the replays. We're going to be listening to your beautiful voice and enjoying the cast. So thank you so much. And thank you for the opposing team. Thank you, Abusement Park. We verse you guys so much now. I think we actually play against you guys more than any other team, including like scrim partners. So thank you so much. Like we appreciate every game. You guys come together. You are all amazing people. So keep it up, Abusement Park, and hopefully we can see you in the future. Shout out to the team. We had some recent changes to the roster. I think they're all super positive. I know everyone else thinks they're super positive. Like fans have been reaching out and saying how positive they think it are. So let's keep going far and let's keep putting the hours and time and practice in to become the best team in HOTS. Let's put up that work. Shout out to our organization. Thank you for sponsoring us. It's a pleasure to be representing under your flag. Celeb Gaming wouldn't be a thing without you guys. I'm very, very happy that we're able to play in all these leagues and win under your name. So thank you so much to our sponsors. And let's see here. I think I have one more shout out. Three more quick ones, I promise. Shout out to our manager, Robin. Thank you for all the work that you've been doing throughout every single league, every scrim. You've been doing so much work for us. I really do appreciate it. You're honestly the team mom. You've been keeping me in track. Honestly, I'm the most disorganized person. So thank you for filling in today. Thank you for everything you do, for everything for the team. Thank you for Tiger JK for coming and coaching us. I know you're playing against us soon in Heroes Hype Premier. Really do appreciate what you've done for the team and put us once again on the right track. And finally, shout out to, I don't know, Slip's mom. You wanted me to give a shout out to someone's mom. Thank you for giving birth to Slip. All right. Giant list. Whew, that was crazy. I'm done.
Well done. Well, again, fantastic play tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining me for this post-game interview. And yeah, stick around for a moment here. I'm going to go ahead and show up the rest of the All-Stars here.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that. So, Met, you're on the DPS side of things, correct?
I saw. Yes, I was.
So let's take. If you want to hang out in the channel here,
why not?
Yeah, hang out in the channel. I'll make the adjustments here. So for the rest of the teams here, so for the support, we've got Fairy Dragon and Rossi. So Rossi from Abusement Park, Fairy Dragon coming out from Montreal style bagels. I'm assuming that's how you say it.
Yes.
Because it's not really quite spelled the same way as bagels. Then for the solo, we have Evasion from Celeb Gaming and Gronman from Revive Esports.
Ooh.
And then for the tank pick, JTR from Revive Esports and Hunter Jr. from Celeb Gaming.
There you go. He's an all-star too.
Hashtag awkward moment. So now, because of the fact that the teams, because Heroic Division is not an East and West like some of the lower divisions, the all-stars are split up according to some kind of weird setup algorithm, whatever thing that they did, where it's like the #1 tank with the #1 solo laner and the #2 support and #2 and 4 DPS. So the teams for the All-Stars, aside from any sub adjustments, for Team 1 we have JTR, Evasion, Fairy Dragon, Met, and Roger. And then for Team 2 we've got Hunter Jr., Gronman, Rossi, Tremor, and Mason Blaze. So there you go. Those are your all-star teams, ladies and gentlemen. Since I got you here, Met, what do you think of those teams?
I think they're pretty good teams. I know pretty much all those players. We versed them multiple times. I know them personally. Everyone's great, and I think everyone deserves a spot. There's so many more players that I think would fight for that all-star title. I think it's awesome, the list that we have.
For sure. Now, in addition, we do have coming up here a week from yesterday, the charity event that Jason and Murda and NGS is putting together. Are you guys participating in that, Dino?
Yes, we are.
You are? Okay. So that event is kind of a ladder event. It starts off with the Div D teams with the best of the West and East playing, and then whichever team wins that plays against the, I think they're doing C West first and then C East, but I don't know if it's going to be based on who wins the grand finals of that, and then so on and so forth up the ladder. So eventually, presumably you'll be playing the best of the Div A teams, you know, because I can't imagine, for example, that I don't know, like Frankfurters is going to get, you know, all the way to the heroic division.
We'll see.
But they might. Who knows, right? I mean, they could whip out a Gazlo, and it's just shocking to everybody in every tier above them, and they find their way to the heroic event. So we do have that on next Saturday. There are a couple of other events going on depending on the divisions you're in. Of course, you know, Heroes Lounge is doing their thing, the Heroes Hype, and Wono and Jason are doing a thing, and I think Zul'jin Distillery has their thing. So there are a couple of variety of events out there. You know, make sure you check out what's going on in NGS chat. Obviously, that's primarily for the viewers, and of course, you know, it sounds like you guys are pretty busy as well with your schedules. So I think that covers all the important things that are coming up. You know, Matt, one last opportunity here. Anything else you'd like to say to anybody out in chat land or before the sign off for the night?
Chatland, well, thanks for everyone. Thank you everyone for coming out and watching this. I know there's so many different games going on, so much things to do, Game of Thrones to see. So thank you for making time to watch this and support us. I know a lot of people, you know, have been following us from the beginning. So thank you so much for following us. Thank you for supporting and staying with NGS. And honestly, NGS, keep kicking butt. Keep being everywhere. Keep doing everything, and keep being the pillar in the Heroes of the Storm community.
Good deal. And, you know, Matt mentioned earlier, there's a lot of opportunity for volunteering in NGS, participating in the Patreon, which I'll throw up the commercial before we close out here in a moment. There's some rewards for the Patreon, so I don't know when that cuts off. But you know, even just a minor Patreon contribution gets you some funky little art bonuses with the player cards, or you know, there's like a lanyard and things like that for certain tiers. So check that out at patreon.com/Heroes Nexus Gaming Series. That puts me light years ahead of Mr. Turd Herder, because he can never remember that website address.
Let's go.
It's been a pleasure for everybody. Make sure that you catch the match for Div D tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. It'll be on this channel, twitch.tv/Nexus Gaming Series. That is between Boogan Squad and I think Frankfurters. I hope I got that right. And then Div C finals on Tuesday at 9 p.m., which will be the West team. I've already forgotten I'm playing them. Rush B and Regen Red coming at you from Div C. So make sure you watch those here over the next couple days, finishing up the grand finals Saturday for the charity event. And that's it for me tonight. Thanks again for joining me and being my co-caster for the last few minutes, Matt.
Oh, that was awesome. Thank you.
And for everybody else out there in Twitch land, have a great night. I hope you didn't have your favorite character die on Game of Thrones. And we'll see you the next time.